Very quiet, especially at night here across Houston. 79 degrees right now. We are looking at pretty humid conditions that are currently in place. East-southeast winds at 8 miles an hour. As we take the latest look at Arthur, it is now a post-tropical storm. It has significantly weakened back to a post-tropical storm with gusts up to 45 miles an hour. As we take a look at the dynamics of this storm, it's been a very interesting day for what we've seen for the past few hours, as this storm was wanting to take more of a veering towards the Houston area. But what's been happening here is that we're looking at higher level wind speeds in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's completely detached the rain and the storms and all the heavy rain from the center of that circulation, which is just right over southeast Texas. So as we take a look at the upper level winds, you have the center of the storm just right around there, and then all the moisture blowing out towards Louisiana and Mississippi. And that's what usually happens when we have tropical wind shear. Wind shear is higher level wind speeds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it does a great job at ripping systems apart, especially tropical systems. And that's what we're seeing right now. It disrupts that wind flow. Now this is a hurricane, and Arthur wasn't as strong as a hurricane, but they have the same dynamics, especially when it comes to a strengthening system. But looking at our radar, we are looking at mostly quiet conditions. All that rain, all the flooding threats moving off towards Louisiana and Mississippi. So they're going to have to be under the gun for some of those heavy rain chances, especially for the next few hours. But we are looking at mostly quiet conditions. We still could see some gusty winds at times, especially in the Galveston area. So that coastal flooding threat diminishing, but still there, especially as we head into tonight, into tomorrow. But we're expecting a mostly dry outlook. The thing that we're going to have to really keep an eye on is the heat and the humidity that will be back in place heading into tomorrow. So wind speeds really calm, especially as we head into tomorrow afternoon. But the rain total is just really not all that much going into through this next Wednesday. But going into the heat advisory, the National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory for all of southeast Texas for Thursday morning and through Friday evening, because we're expecting feels like temps, or the heat index, to be between 107 to 114 degrees. That's what usually happens when those tropical systems go off towards the east of us. So expect the feels like forecast to range between 112 to 113 out there. So stay hydrated, practice those heat safety measures, as well as look before you lock, because we are expecting the heat index impacts. If you're not hydrated, you could suffer from heat stroke, heat cramps, and heat exhaustion, especially tomorrow when we deal with these hot and humid conditions. Also, we have a lot of visitors here across our area that are probably not accustomed to the humidity here across the Houston area. Future track does show a little boundary wanting to make its way into our area heading into Saturday. So there is this isolated rain chance going into the picture for the first half of our weekend, but it's going to be mostly isolated. Not much in terms of widespread rain. The only thing that we're going to have to track is the heat and the humidity. So those high temp trends just remaining in the low 90s for the next few days, mid 90s by the middle of next week. So we're going to be actually hotter heading into next Tuesday and Wednesday. But as far as our 7-day forecast, we will be under a weather impact alert for Thursday and Friday, as we are expecting those heat index to really be dangerously hot here across the Houston area. So even though high temps are going to be in the low 90s, we will see the humidity play a factor on how hot it feels outside, and that could also lead to heat-related illnesses. And we are tracking another little isolated rain chance for Saturday, but through the start of next week, temperatures just a bit warmer. But we are expecting mostly sunny skies for next week, so we're anticipating just a hot and humid outlook, at least for the next 7 days here across the Houston area.
Oh, here it comes. Thank you, sir. We're helping